Hey. Hi, DJ.
Hey, Miss Winnie.
How are you?
I'm hanging in there like a rubber chicken on a rope set on fire.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. Y'all try to figure that one out.
Hey, Marie.
Hello, what's up?
Not much. How was y'all lunch?
Good.
Ooh, girl, I'm gonna stay awake. I'm gonna stay awake.
Dinner too.
Yeah, stay awake. Stay awake. We're gonna need you to do that. Okay.
I was able to make dinner too.
Okay. So, y'all, let's get this party started now. Let's get this party started quickly. Y'all know sometimes you know me. Y'all know me by now. I gotta have a little humor in my moments. All right, here we go.
If they could bottle your energy, I would buy some.
I got something for y'all today. This is my original song, written by Corey Wilson.
Out of the world and wonder what's happening. I try to fight and don't give up, but it seems there's no place for me. When I raise my hands and ask for help, I get people staring back at me. With the strength of my heart and will to fight, love is where I find my peace. But I gotta believe, gotta keep pressing on. Gotta raise my hands and don't give up, because that's what makes me strong. So I gotta believe, gotta keep pressing on. Gotta raise my hands and don't give up, because that's what makes me strong. So I look back at this path I chose to see how far I come.
Y'all know I can't sing, but I'll make a joyful noise.
It's a great song for this.
Every day.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
That he didn't let me give up. So I praise my special gift and unite everyone.
That's my special gift, uniting everyone.
And with a smile upon my face, I know one day I'll rise, but I gotta believe, I gotta keep pressing on. I gotta raise my hands and don't give up, because that's what makes me strong. So I gotta believe.
All right, y'all. That I'm gonna tell you something. The phenomenal, the lady that sang hers, that song, I forget. Theodora. Oh my gosh, she is just a phenomenal lady. She's been with me with Kelly's Choice since we started. Anytime I've needed her to come and sing live, she was always there. So I definitely appreciate her always being there for me. And when I asked her, would she sing that song? Would she make the track for that song? Man, she did that thing. And I was so grateful. So, yeah. So here we go. Turn it back just a little bit more. Turn it back. You turned it too far. There you go. Yeah, right there. Right? Perfect. So, yes. Corey wrote that song in 2014, right before we started Kelly's Show.
Go ahead, Mr. Wilson, with your lyrical self.
Literally in 5 minutes. I was upstairs talking to him, and I went downstairs to talk with this young lady that was at our house. And literally within 5 minutes, Corey said, "Hey, Winnie, come here for a minute." I go back upstairs, and that's what he showed me. So, yeah.
He sure can write a song, but getting him to speak is like pulling teeth.
Man, that's a whole nother level right there. That's a whole nother level. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. That's what I love. You know my Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate all of y'all joining in as we get started today. We got a guest coming on at 4:30 today. It's Christina. But in the meantime, we're just going to have a little dialogue here. If you want to be a part of the dialogue, just raise your hand and we'll send you a link. You can join the dialogue. But what we're going to talk about right now is when you have an aide, do you report them for falling asleep in your home, not doing what they have to do, and reporting the hours that they did something? What would you do, DJ?
All right, let me say this. If you are hired to do a job and you fall asleep on that job.
No, what would you do if someone came in your house and they didn't get and they didn't do what they supposed to do and you found them asleep? What would you do?
I was getting to that. They wouldn't be there. I would call the office. I would report them. They either need to get a better night's sleep when they get to the house or not be here. Because you're not going to be in my house sleeping. That's not what you get paid for. You want to sleep, go home.
Okay, now.
I'm just being real.
Part two.
But what I report them, yes, because that means that you've done this before. If you fall asleep in my house, you've done this before. And the last person may have let you get away with it, but not this joker here. No, I'm calling the agency, be like, look, let me just show you on camera, click, 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 picture. You better drool when you sleeping and make it good, because I'm gonna send it right to the agency and let them know.
Okay, what about you, Marie?
I would probably do the same thing. However, I'm lucky because I live in, I think it's only 10 states in the US, 10 to 15 states, I'm not sure. I'm lucky to live in one of the states that has the PCA waiver. And if you don't know what the PCA waiver is, it's the you're able to hire anyone you want. Like say DJ, you lived in the state with the PCA waiver and you wanted your brother to take care of you. Brother, but I'm just saying.
Sorry.
You wanted your sister to take care of you.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Oh, whatever. And because you're afraid of a stranger, you could hire your sister and the state would pay your sister.
My brother would be asleep.
Yeah.
Totally honest.
You said you were the only boy of how many? 5?
Oh, of all my, that's on my dad's side. There's 2 boys and 7 girls, I think.
Well,
three boys and 6 girls, something like that. A baseball team. That's
I'm just saying, like, I even have a friend that has his brother who has major PCA stuff, but when he wants to go out and have a little fun and cut a rug, he has his best friend to will pay his best friend to take him out.
Okay. So yeah, I would definitely report it because you're not going to get paid for not doing anything. We would have to have a talk. We would definitely have to have a talk about that. And especially if I find you asleep and then you're going to go get paid, put the hours down and get paid for it. I would definitely have a problem for that. Also, when it comes to AIDS, I don't know if you all, I don't know if you all, some of you may know that I had quit my job back in 2008. I feel that those that can't speak for them, I feel that, right. I feel, I mean, listen to me, I feel, because I just read that. Did y'all ever do that? You get ready to say something, but then you read something, you're writing something, you're saying what you're writing.
Mm-hmm.
The words. Like, so anyway, back in 2008, I quit my job. I just stepped out on faith. I haven't worked a full-time job since then, but Kelly was left home by the aide, and the aide had left the house. It was just something that was on my spirit. And like for a whole week, I kept going home, asking Kelly questions, looking around the house. It was like I felt something. I just couldn't put my hands on it. And I just didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. So that Friday, I went to lunch. I came back. That thing was just heavy on my spirit. And I said, you know what? I don't know what's going on. So I told my I went to the cable people had called, and they said they was on their way. And I said, okay, no problem. Somebody is there. And because you gotta make sure somebody there 18 and over, right? I said, oh, somebody's at my home.
Mm-hmm.
So the lady said, okay, the cable person is on the way. So about 30 minutes later or less, they called me and said the cable tech is there and nobody's answering your door. I said, no, somebody's at my home. And she said, okay, I'll let them know somebody's at their home. And I'm like, somebody at my home. They supposed to be at my home anyway. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. She said, this is an aide at my home with Kelly. So that thing just didn't settle. And I said, maybe this is what's been going on. Maybe this all is a part of this, and it's going to give me my answers, what my mind was thinking. So I went to my supervisor. I said, something is just not right. I said, at my home, I said, I need to go home. They want me to go home. I said, bye. And I left. You can't feel nothing like that and not go check on it.
Mm-hmm.
I would not have settled in my spirit at all. I would have been a pure wreck had I sat there and knowing something wasn't right. Anyway, Edwina Wilson left her job, went home, and Kelly was home by herself. The aide had left. As I was the people from the cable company called me and said, I don't think the tech can wait there any longer. I said, I am en route. Like, I'm probably about 5 minutes. If you could give me 5 minutes, I'm on my way. Literally no sooner than I was turning on my street, Kings Highway. We had brought this brand new home, and cable guy was coming to set up our cable. And coming in that Kings Highway, cable guy was at the stop sign pulling out. I said, God dang. I wanted to boom, 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 but nope, get home with nobody there. Nobody was there. And when you walk up to my porch, when you walk up on the porch, and we had the glass door so you could see through. And normally we had the glass door. Corey always put 10 up there, but we had just moved. So he didn't put the 10 up there at the time. So you look through and you got the foyer. This way you got the kitchen, you got the stairs, and it's another way you could go through behind the stairs to get to the family room, or you could go straight through the kitchen and get to the family room. When you look this way, you can see Kelly sitting in her wheelchair in the living room, family room. I was sick to my stomach. All I could think of is, what if that guy was someone other than? And probably thinking, why she ain't coming to answer the door? Why she ain't moving or doing nothing?
Mm-hmm.
I got home. Kelly ain't know nothing. Mind you, she put her back towards it so Kelly couldn't see anything. Because Kelly tell everything. So, no, I got on that phone, called the agency. I said, do not send your aide back here ever again to my home. And I told her what she did. And she said, excuse me? Yeah, you heard me. I called Kelly's case manager, told Kelly's case manager what happened. She said, nah, Miss Wilson. I said, you know me. She said, oh, I know you, but I'm just saying, nah, Miss Wilson. Like, I can't believe somebody did that. I said, yeah, I'm here now. No aide is here. She said, you left work. I said, I quit. I quit because they didn't want me to leave work. So I quit. And I came home. And she said, okay, you know what? I'm going to get ready to call the agency right now and let them know what's going on, because she needs to be reprimanded Long story short, after I called back, I wasn't so pleasant at all. Just not very pleasant. That was one of them.
Mommy
Da
moment.
da 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 da. All those moments, you know. Sometimes when you want to be as humble as you can, there's moments that you can't hold it in because you're just like furious. And I'm furious that she thought it was okay to do that. And they called me back and said she went to pick her niece up. And I said, you said it's so easy. How could that come out of your mouth so easy? Who are you? What is your position?
Mm.
And because it came so easy. And mind you, it was the owner. I said, but you said this so easy. I said, are you all about money or about the people that you're sending your people to help? Because if it's about the money, I have an issue with that because my child needs care. And a cable tech just left my house. And I could only imagine he coming up to my door and my daughter in a wheelchair sitting there and can't respond or anything, don't know what's going on. And she's just sitting there. I said it could have been all of it could have been the same as if he was a pervert or some other type of criminal, something like that, and go into my home or break into
Mhm.
my home or go around the back where he could clearly see her even more and open the screen somehow, unlock the screen door or the kitchen door, whatever. You know, and she's like, she said, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to calm down. I said, you're gonna need me to calm down. I'm gonna need you to call your aide and find out exactly. She said, well, your case manager or your daughter's case manager just called, laid us out too. I said, well, good for her. Now it's the mama turn because that's my daughter that happened to. Anything could have happened.
Mm.
How can how can people expect to be CNAs and do this stuff? I mean, I was in the rehab center one time, and the CNA was getting me ready for bed or something, and someone FaceTimed her, and she just picked up FaceTime like she was home doing nothing while she was standing there helping me get ready for bed or something. It was like, what the heck are you doing? And because I had a disability, she thought that I didn't know what she was doing.
Exactly. See, and that company right there needs to be shut down because if that's the owner, and I'm gonna say it again, whatever that company was, kibosh it because that's wrong. You don't do that. Something could have happened to kept. Well,
Yeah, so to finish that story, so they called, so we, got into this little moment. And she said, Miss Wilson, I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to talk again with my aide. Talk again. Your aide don't be need to work with nobody else. If she left my house to go pick up her niece, that means she's been doing it all week. And I say all week, man, because every day for a week, something just didn't settle in my spirit. Every day I was coming home this week asking my daughter, was she okay? I'm looking around the house to see if anything was happening or going on or missing or whatever. And I just couldn't put my hands on why this thing kept coming up. Something is wrong in my home. And to find out your aide, your employee left to go pick her. So she's been doing this. And it might not have been just this week. It might have been happening for a while, but it just happened to just start settling in my spirit so I could know what's going on because I need to protect my daughter. I need to be home if nobody else could be there. And I had enough of AIDS at that moment. That was my drawing point for AIDS. And that was in 2008. And I quit my job and I never worked another job because it just didn't settle with me. Like it was just too many I had already gone through. And Kelly is very vulnerable. Kelly is intellectually challenged. She has no sense of direction whatsoever when it comes to things like that. She don't know those things. This is why my passion is in what I do. This is why I push in everything that I do when it comes to her and the community, to try to bring as much awareness as I possibly can, or try to do the best I can within doing things like this. Those that join, we appreciate. Those that don't, that's another story. But this lady pushing through. This was on a Friday. Monday come along. Mind you, I quit my job. Monday come along, the owner called me. Hi, Miss Wilson. Yes. I apologize. We cannot find nobody to come take care of Kelly. But Miss Johnson is available. Miss Johnson, who? You have another Miss Johnson, because you can't mean Miss Johnson that did what she did Friday. Tell me you're not talking about her. I didn't even tell her I quit my job. She said, yeah, that Miss Johnson. I said, so you want me to accept what happened? You want me to be okay with what happened? See, because if I said okay to you, guess what that means? That means I received that. That means I'm okay with what she did. I said, no, ma'am. I said, as a matter of fact, get off my phone. Don't call back. Take Kelly's name out of your records. And I'm reporting this even more, because evidently she's still working with you. Because it's okay with you. How many more people has she done this with?
Mm-hmm.
How many? Is she working somewhere else other than with Kelly? And you're okay with this because you called me. You called me. You had the audacity to call me and ask me such a thing as that. You want me to be okay with that, because I would be giving you the okay, and I would be truly letting you know that I'm okay with that. And clearly I'm not. Clearly I'm not. She had nothing to say. She was just real quiet. When I say she had nothing to say, nothing. But I'm going to say this. Probably about, in Suffolk, they have the Suffolk Herald. You seen that newspaper, DJ? Sometimes they like the little newspapers. They have separate. They have these little
right. The one sometimes they're inside the other ones, or they put them in a little yellow bag. Yeah, I know what you're talking
about. They're in like when you get newspapers out of little bins that be around in neighborhoods and stuff like that.
Yeah. I know. Okay.
Stores and stuff. It's a bin. It's a little thing where you grab the newspaper out. So her company advertised in that. So one day I was looking out, I got one of the newspapers, and they're free, right? So I got one of the newspapers, and it was this new agency. And when I started reading it, and I saw the name of the agency, the name of the owner, I said, well, I'll be darned. You'd have changed the name of your company. Isn't that something? How many incidents have you had? How many reports has been reported about your agency?
And you
decide to go and change your agency. But the problem is, I know your name, boo. I know your name. That part you can't change. And you had your picture up there. Now, mind you, this is the same company that this one lady that we adored so much. She would bring things for Kelly to do, color books, crayons, puzzles. It was a guy lived across the street from us. He had his own garden, and he would have all these gardens on his table, and a chain hooked around this big tree with a lock on it, and this cash box. And you couldn't take nothing out. So you just come pick up what you want, and you just put the money in there, right? So she would go across the street and she would buy greens and stuff like that, come across the street and cook them and do all this. That lady didn't get paid for 3 weeks. So I was paying her because I really enjoyed it. So I was giving her gas money and, money to, just get something to eat or whatever. Just paying her, make sure she could get back and forth for 3 weeks. She said, Miss Wilson, I can't do this no more. She said, this is not fair to you. I said, you're absolutely right. And I should not be paying for it, but I really adore you. And I'm so sorry this has happened to you, that they have not paid you. And she said, I just live too far to come and have to deal with this. And they're not responding. They're not answering. This lady done changed the name of her company.
Speaking of changing the name, look at the comments, Miss Wilson.
I was gonna get to that, but it's just, it's just so sad that these agencies can get away with things like that. Because a lot of these agencies, the people is for the money because they know they're going to get paid. But where's your heart at when it comes to the people? Where's your mind? Like, I mean, what do you be thinking? What about the clients? What if something would happen?
Can I say something here?
Sure.
I do think people go into CNA nowadays because it's such an easy degree to get within a year or so. And, they're thinking of it as,
This lady that came back on my page and gone and changed her name. This is the lady I blocked.
Same picture.
Same picture.
Whoever you are, you need to stop this mess.
Spam, y'all. Please just ignore that one.
Mm-mm.
This is the same person. Ignore that, y'all. Okay, until I just ignore it, please. Okay, let's keep going. Sorry about that. Some people just ain't got nothing better to do. It's a shame. All right, go ahead, y'all. I apologize. I just wanted to just let people know that's a spam. That has nothing to do with Edwina Wilson or Kelly's Choice. Okay, go ahead, Marie.
No, I just think people that go to school for being CNAs, they go because it's an easy degree to get. They feel like it's going to make them lots of money, but they're not going in for the compassion that they need for these people. And every now and then you'll get a compassionate one, but I'm not being discriminating, but it's mostly the people that are immigrants to this country and want to get a job soon, and they know it's 6 months to a year to become a CNA, so that's easy to do, but do they really have the compassion to do it? Or are they in it for the money?
Money.
But
That's all.
But see, here's the other part of that, and I'm not trying to take up too much time, but Miss Wilson talked about this. We talked about this the other day. Using your voice when something is wrong. This is a prime example right here of what Miss Wilson is talking about. For a company to represent themselves this way, you don't stop just with the aid. It's not just about the aid. It's the person that hired the aid. Now, this person is devious because this person gonna change the name of the company and act like ain't nothing happened and keep going on doing what she doing.
Nothing.
Knock upside of never mind.
And the people like Kelly that they're doing it to that can't vocalize what's going on.
And that's the sad part.
Yeah.
That's the sad part right there because you're taking advantage of the opportunity to present to you. But Ms. Wilson don't play that, and she did it right.
You know, when I found out about that, when I saw that ad that her new job, her new company name, I called and reported. I did. I called and reported. I called Kelly's case manager and I asked I told her what had happened and took a picture of it. And I said, what do you do in situations like that? Because I want this person to be reported. Because she's the same company that was hired that girl that I told you about that left Kelly by herself. She said, really, Miss Will? I said, yep. And I took a picture. I sent her the picture and she's like, it sure darn is. So she told me what to do. And I reported because I felt like she didn't care. I felt like she had
She
no
did.
morals. I felt like she was just all about the money. So why, I mean, you know what? If she had not called me back Monday morning to say, I can't find anybody, so I'm going to send the same girl back, basically. If she hadn't called me, I would never have known that the girl was still there. But since she had the audacity, did I say the audacity?
Mm-hmm.
Since she had the audacity to call me back, thinking that it was okay, she must have thought I was dumb. She must have really thought I was just stupid. No, you know what? She thought I needed my job. She said, "Oh, this mama need her job, so she going to take this aid again." That devil is a lie. What you won't do is mistreat my daughter. That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to do that, and I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to allow it. Okay. So when that happened with my child, I had to take it a little further because you thought it was okay. Had she not did that, I would have left it alone. But because she called me back and you started a new company, oh no, man. No. Oh no, that wasn't even that didn't even settle. That didn't even settle with me. It just didn't even settle. How you going to just be okay with that? I don't get it. Okay, so we did have a little dialogue, but however, our guest is on the line with us. I mean, right here, she's in view with us right now. Christina McCormick. She is our 4:30 guest, but we were just in, y'all. Okay, you know, sometimes when you start a little dialogue, it goes a little further than we anticipate. But that was a good one. So sorry about that, Christina.
Oh, that's quite all right.
So Christina, her topic for today is CP and fitness. I bet y'all want to know what she mean by CP and fitness. Well, let her tell you about that. Okay, we're gonna go in the basement while you take the floor. All right, boo.
All right. Well, as Ms. Winnie said, I'm Christina. I am a teacher. I'm a traveler, and I just love living life to its fullest. And part of that for me is fitness. And one of the things that I think bothers me most about fitness and CP is that people think that those that have cerebral palsy cannot be active. And I guess I'm just here today to tell everybody that that is the furthest thing from the truth. But fitness with cerebral palsy is different for everybody. It really depends on the person. It depends on what type of CP they have. It depends on their ability level, but everyone does have the ability to be active. It's just about finding what works for you and also not comparing yourself to others in that process of being fit and being your best you. I think a lot of us are quick to look at what others are doing and wish that we could do that and get upset when things don't go how we want them to go. But like I said, fitness with cerebral palsy is possible, but it's your journey. You have to find what type of exercise works for you, how often you're doing that, find what works for you there as well. I started my fitness journey really about a year ago when COVID really hit, and I started out just with walking. I wanted to build up my stamina to walk some longer distances. So for a while that was working, and then I started building up my distances longer and longer. When I started walking, I couldn't even walk a mile without stopping. Then I slowly increased 1.25 miles, 1.5 miles, 2 miles, until about June or July, I was walking 5Ks, which is 3.1 miles at a time. But then I got to a point with that where I was trying to build distance for that, and my goal was walking a 10K, which is 6.3 miles. At a certain point, my body couldn't walk those distances. And what I actually did was I overwalked and I hurt my knee. So even though fitness and exercise is possible for those of us with CP, the other point that I want to make here today is that it's your journey, and taking breaks are absolutely okay. You want to push your limits, but there's also going to come a point where you're going to go, oh no, I've done too much. And you're going to have to, be willing to sort of adjust the timeline that you have and adjust the intensity of your exercise. Right now, I started out with walking. I've also mixed in some biking here and there because it uses different muscles. And I also swim at the YMCA once a week. So again, it's about finding what works for you, and it's about being forgiving with yourself, not comparing yourself to others, so that you can keep going to be the best version of yourself. Fitness, though, too, is not just a physical thing. It's not just about what you physically can do and pushing yourself physically to the limits. There's also a mental health aspect that comes with that I didn't realize, because I'm a go, go, go type person. I'm always on the move. I'm always up to something. I teach all day long and I'm on my feet. I like to travel when I can. But you have to be forgiving with yourself and realize that it's okay to take breaks. I think those of us with cerebral palsy and disabilities in general are so used to having to prove ourselves to others that it's like, I've got to keep going. I can't stop. I don't want somebody to think less of me because I'm, not doing what I said I was going to do. We don't want to beat ourselves up like that. Hey, Nikki, thanks for tuning in, girl. We've really got to be careful to get out of our own way and not let, frustration about certain things stop us from being successful. I know for me, one of the things that's been really, really tough is just because I'm so goal oriented. And there came a point this year where I actually had a conversation with my physical therapist, and she had to actually tell me that it's okay to take, breaks, and it's okay to not be so hard on myself. So I'm giving you this advice from my personal experience. I'm a go-getter, and I just wanted to go, 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 go. And then it's one of those points where somebody that knows you pulls you aside and says, hey, like, we got to slow this down a little bit. We don't want to hurt ourselves just because we want to keep going. It's okay to take a break. And there might be people too that are going to judge you for taking that break. And they're going to be like, oh, well, she's just giving up on her goals. No, sometimes you take a break for a day. Sometimes you take a break for a week. It's okay to take breaks. I'm in one of my longest breaks right now. I've been having some back issues, and I stopped walking for almost 2 whole weeks because my back hurt and I had to listen to my body. But does that mean that I'm giving up on all of this? No, it doesn't. I'm going to keep going. But sometimes there's certain things that you have to sort out first, especially for those of us with disabilities. Our bodies have sort of different abilities and different limits than other people, and we have to be willing to listen to that without beating ourselves up. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about today too with fitness and any kind of exercise that you do is the stretching aspect of it. For those of us with CP, we have really, really tight muscles if we have spastic CP. And so whatever kind of exercise you're doing, please do not forget to stretch, because whether you have CP or not, when you're doing exercise, stretching is important. It helps keep muscles loose and it helps you to avoid injuries so that you can keep going and not have to stop because you hurt yourself because you didn't stretch your hamstrings before you went on a 3-mile walk. I may or may not be speaking from experience there of some pulled muscles because I didn't stretch. Yeah, I appreciate that comment there. Yeah, there are others, like I said, that are going to judge you when you take a break, but you still need to be okay with you taking that break, because when it comes to fitness and it comes to exercise, it's your journey, and I don't think anybody else needs to understand that but you, right? You don't have to explain it to anybody. It's your journey, your way, and the only way you're going to get there is if you keep going. Don't let others' opinions get in your way, and don't let yourself get in your way either. I know it's been hard for me to not be tough on myself about certain things, but sometimes we have to get out of our own way and let ourselves rest when we need to, and realize that we can pick up in a week or 2 weeks and we'll be okay. You know, we're not going to lose all of our progress that we've made if we take a break for a little while. Sometimes that's needed more than we realize. Do any of our lovely co-hosts have any questions for me here about my journey with fitness? I know each of us has such a unique experience with exercise and physical therapy and all of that.
Can I say something? I'm like, yeah, I love your message because I push myself too hard sometimes and I wind up hurting myself. And the fact that, the fact that you said it all isn't just physical, it's mental too. I mean, I probably started working out when I was around your age. And now the way I think of it is that I'm a house. I think of my body or the human body as a house. And as much as we want to decorate our outside of a house all pretty and, with makeup or whatnot, I think the one part of decorating our house is that people, especially with people with disabilities, they forget to decorate the inside of the house, and that means when you forget to decorate the inside of the house, that's when you wind up in the black hole. Yeah.
That's such a good analogy. I love that, honestly. I mean,
And when you work out, you're kind of opening the windows of your house. You're opening the windows of your legs to get your legs better. And then you're going to the roof, which is your mind, and you're opening those windows to get the cobwebs out, to get your mental health feeling better. And that's the reason why I love to work out. And I pushed myself a little too much lately, and I can't work out right now because I messed up my shoulder really bad.
yeah,
It's bothering me as heck because I want to be able to work out. But like you said, don't push yourself too much, and they forget about that.
especially when you have an injury, that's when you really need to not work out, because
Yeah.
what you're going to do is make it worse. But I love your analogy of the house and that whole image, because I think you're right. People do focus on, kind of those outside things. And especially because those of us with disabilities, people are going to look at us and judge us right away. But we have to be really, really careful to take care of the things on the inside too, because I really think that fitness and health in general kind of is like an inside out thing. Or for me, at least, I feel like it starts with the mental part, and I have to be in the right mental space to take those steps to be the best version of myself physically.
Yeah.
Most training, whether it's walking, whether it's running, whether it's martial arts, whether it's any kind of heavy ability where you're putting stress on yourself, because walking and training for that, 80% of it is mental. And the stress on joints and the body, even at, I don't care if you're 25, 35, 65, 85, training becomes different as you age. And when you've got cerebral palsy on top of it, you have to go, whoa, wait a minute, whoa, I'm hurting. Okay, why?
Yeah.
And a lot of us, we push ourselves so hard. And I said this earlier, we're dedicated to our craft. I decided to do 6 tournaments in 1 year. I normally do 4. I paid for it because I missed the Commonwealth Games because I literally could not compete, and I slept for 2 weeks because my body said, okay, you're not going to rest and train like you're supposed to. I'm going to shut down. And your body will do that if you don't take care of it. You have to train this and this and this. It's all together. And if one works, the other one goes, oh, dear God, what's going to happen now? We're all going to go kaput. I mean, it does. It shuts down.
That's the other thing I forgot to mention too. Those rest days are extremely important because you don't rest when your body needs it. Like you said, DJ, you are going to pay for it. And I don't know about y'all, but I'd rather be down for a day resting than be down for a week because I messed something up.
And that's where I was going to go, because when you get injured, that you look at a sprain or a pulled muscle, if you don't, your muscles need to rest in order to repair themselves. Mm-hmm. When your muscles are worked and you're running or rolling really fast or throwing people on a gym floor, not that I've done that, kind of. But when you're doing all that and then you take a rest day, your muscles are repairing themselves and they need time to repair. That's why they say when you work out, don't do arms, legs, because your muscles cannot, they're overworked.
Yep.
And they'll die out and you'll hurt yourself worse.
That's why cross training has been so great for me too. Like I had said earlier on, I started out with walking and then I mixed in biking and swimming as well because with CP, I feel like there's certain things we do in the day that where we overwork certain muscles anyway. We depend on some stronger muscles to do a lot for us. So just in our daily activities, we can fatigue from doing too much.
Can I ask you a question? And I noticed myself, maybe it's me that feels this, I don't know, but I know enough now not to compare myself to a neighbor body because I'll never be like running the 5K or 10K that a neighbor body does. But I feel like I compare myself to other people with CP, like what they're doing and the physical aspects of what they're doing. Like, I have a friend who owns his own house. He does all this work, like mowing the lawn and whatnot. However, you hold on your own house. And I feel like there's days where like I can compete. I feel like I'm competing with him, especially in the women's aspect. I feel like I'm competing against women to be where they're at in the CP community. Do you ever get that feeling?
I think I definitely have had that struggle at certain points, not comparing myself to others. And I'm not going to say that I don't still do it because I definitely do. It's really easy to fall into that trap, but I just keep sort of remembering a motto that I have when that thought sort of creeps into my head. I always like to say that I just try to be better tomorrow. And the biggest part of that for me is being a better version of myself.
I like that.
I like to think of myself as my competition. instead of somebody else as my competition. So again, just striving to be better tomorrow and just to keep going. I am my only challenge. I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday.
I like my only.
That's an awesome way to look at that. You know, I think we've all had the moment of comparing. I can tell you this: when I in December of 2015, I remember it was like we had this guy. He could kick unbelievably, punch unbelievably. Everything was just perfect. Everything he did in martial arts was crisp and clean and smooth, and he looked like Bruce Lee on steroids, and he had all the muscles and the gi and I'm like, I want to kick like that, and I want to punch like that, and I want to be like that. And I was at a tournament, and I met him, and he goes, "Why don't you kick and punch like you?" And I kind of went, I had that moment, you know, where I'm like, wow, you know, it's okay to be you, and at your pace and at your journey. Marie, that's tough, because you see someone succeeding, and I know you want to get there, but that's here. That the majority of that is
to work out with myself right now.
That's the majority of. One thing that Grandmaster Jack Dart told me is everything that you want to accomplish starts with one step. But when you look at somebody else and see him opposite of you, do not compare yourself with him, but take your journey with him, because he has his own journey and you have your own. So the struggles that you're facing, he might not face, but he's got his own struggles.
Right.
So you got to worry about what you got, and don't let him succeeding from his end hinder you as to where you're supposed to be, because you're supposed to be right where you are at the time that you're there, and enjoy that moment. Sorry, that was a little long. Thank you.
No, I like that. I like that one.
Yeah, that's Grandmaster Jack Dart, 83 black belt Taekwondo champions. Check that out. I just want to throw that out there. You know.
That is all great. I said, I know people probably like, what does she mean, CP and fitness? I say topics and titles is everything. That's even when you're writing a book or a blog. You want those topics that's going to just bring attention, you know. So, of course, I knew. So, I knew what it meant. But that's good. I've been loving your journey. On your blog, when you post your blogs up about, you know, I even love the title of that.
Oh yeah, I should give myself a plug here, y'all. So my blog, I've still got to come up with a different link so people have an easier way to find it. But it's on Weebly, and it's called "Walking My Way to a 10K."
I like that.
Weebly.com. And that's kind of a little bit of what I talked about earlier with the walking. My ultimate goal is to walk 6 miles at one time, and I'm not there yet. But if you want to check out, you know, my journey and follow me along the way, my blog is the place where you can do that. So.
No, Christina, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but you're a twin, and you're twins able-bodied. Do you have, I mean, I know not now because of who you are and the strong person you are now, but have you in the past compared yourself to your twin? Like, why is she doing this and I'm not doing this?
Good question.
That's a good question. And I'm going to have to end with this one because I got to go see my physical therapist in about 10 minutes and get something figured out. But what I will say about my sister, first off, I'm so grateful for her. She is my biggest supporter and number one fan. Well, okay, maybe not my biggest because it's probably a tie with my mom and dad. But I appreciate her so much. And yes, there were times when, you know, when I became frustrated about things that she could do that I couldn't do. But there were also so many times when she was that person who was there to help me do those things. So I am just so grateful for the bonds that I have with her, because she's a big part of the reason why I've had a lot of the awesome experiences I've had in life, because she was there to support me to participate in some way, even if I couldn't participate in the way that everyone else would.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I just asked that question because I know a lot of twins with CP, and sometimes the able-bodied one doesn't want to have anything to do with the disabled-bodied one.
And that's
Right.
really unfortunate, and that it does happen. I'm just so lucky that's not the case for me. Like I said, she's one of my biggest fans.
That's great. That's great.
Dragged me behind her. My mom says, yes. Sometimes it literally was, but like, when you're on a trip and you're in a group and you gotta go, it was like, and she'd pick me up and carry me if she could. But the best she could do was just to take my arm and, come on, Christina, we're almost there. Let's go. Let's keep going. So we would always get there, but man, sometimes it was.
Yeah.
That's good. And support is everything. Especially you having a twin and they're with you by your side. You couldn't ask for nothing more.
No.
Like literally, you couldn't ask for nothing more. So that's truly that's a blessing. It's a blessing. Because it is one couple, listen to me. One set of twins I know, they're not here on Facebook. Personally, no. And it's nothing like that at all. Nothing. It is sad to see because I know so many that are.
Yeah, everyone's experience is unique. I'm just really grateful to have the experience that I do with my sister. So
you're blessed. Definitely blessed. Well, girl, you gone on to do what you got to do.
Thank you. I have to get my back all taped up and see if I can get this figured out. I'm about ready to order myself a new back on Amazon.
Oh Lord.
Backcracker.com. Here we go. All right.
Thank you so
take care
much.
of yourself.
I so appreciate all of you for having me on today. This was great conversation. I'm really thankful to our listeners on Facebook and Let Go Radio. This was such
Do you want to leave? Do you want people to follow you or know how they can?
You can send me a message on Facebook. Christina McCormick. My profile picture is actually the flyer for the show right now, so you can find me pretty easy. I also have a show on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern called The CP Chronicles with Kyle and Christina. You can also check me out there. Send us a message on our Facebook page, and I'd be happy to get back to you.
Well, there she goes, Christina herself, the Spanish teacher, the 10K runner, the challenger. Thanks, Christina. You keep pushing. You keep being great. We'll see you later.
Thanks so
much. Take care.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Oh, sometimes we got to encourage ourselves, y'all. You know?
She talked about her twin sister. I didn't have a twin brother, but when I was younger, I tried to compare myself to my brother a lot. Why couldn't I be? Because he's able-bodied. And why can't I do the things that he can do? Why can't I do that like the way Chuck does it? Why can't? And a lot of times, my mom in those instances when she caught it wasn't very often because, most of the time we were fighting or, trying to get, one up on each other. But when my mom noticed me saying, she says, always remember, you may not do things the way Chuck does them, but you do things in your own special way and let that be good enough for me and you. And that was something that my mom always told me. So yeah, I had that moment where I want to be, big like my brother or tall like my brother or the same age as him or, why is he doing this? We were 6.5 years apart. So, I mean, that's age is a big difference when you're, that far apart and things are happening and life seems to be getting bigger faster. So
and I had that problem with I didn't have a sister, but I had friends that, girlfriends that, when we were in junior high or high school and starting to date or what, starting to have guys interested in us. I was like, why aren't they interested in me as more than a friend or what? So that, in that respect, that's why I compared myself to at that time.
I went through that a lot, believe it or not, even in middle school or when I was getting into high school when I was a freshman. Man, why doesn't that girl like me? Why does she like the football player? What have I got that
Yeah.
what's he got that I don't have? And that happened a lot, but I had to kind of come into my own to understand that I was good enough, and that really comes into understanding yourself and loving yourself and knowing your own worth and how special that you are. And it may not be now, or it may not be a year from now, or it may not be 6 months from now, but I do believe, and I can speak from personal experience on this, that there is somebody out there for everybody. Some people says, no, I don't believe that. Let me tell you, from the little man right here in the purple shirt sitting in the chair, I went through the, man, I'm never going to get married. Man, I ain't never going. God dang, I've been with this girl this long and I can't. Shoot, it's going to happen, but you have to be patient and you got to know what is and what isn't. I mean, life will be there for you. It's all part of it is the journey. That's all part of the journey within the journey. I had to figure that out. I had to figure that out.
Yeah.
And me too. You guys noticed that I backed away from the CP community for a while because I was starting. I thought, okay, here I go in the CP community. Here I could find girlfriends, girls that I could talk to and not compare myself to. But I started to compare myself to the girls. Like, why wasn't I married? Why wasn't I a mom? And it got so much for me that when I moved, my reality of my life became different. So I had to back away and had to examine who I was and examine why I was always comparing myself to someone. So,
That's a good point. That is, because I guess it can easily happen.
Yeah.
It can easily happen, especially during the pandemic, more so than anything, because so many people were just home and you couldn't get out and release yourself and do things and be around those that you normally be around. So now you're sitting at home and it's like, God, what are they doing? How are they doing it? Wish I could do that. Or just some other type of comparison that you find yourself easily getting into sometimes without even realizing it.
I remember when I was sitting there and I said, Lord, that's it. I'm done. I'm not looking. I'm not trying. I don't care. I got frustrated. And lo and behold, I was doing something totally different where I was not focused on finding nothing. And I get an email out of nowhere. I'm like, why am I getting an email now? I'm editing a video. I ain't checking in my email now. I'm editing. And something said, check the email. I said, no, I'll check it later. And it got louder. Check the email. And I swear it went, check the email. I said, okay. But I had to realize, and kind of to Miss Winnie's point, when we compare ourselves to someone else, this is what I believe we should be doing. Examine our strongest qualities and go with what you're good at. Be yourself. Don't try to be what you're not. At that time, it was cooking with Carter. That was my focus, and that's where I stayed. And in that moment, in that area was where Emily found me. So to go from I'm doing an episode, I'm like, who in the world is this? And she said, well, I got a boyfriend. So I thought, oh, there that goes. And I thought, well, and you stop for a minute, but here comes the element again of a question that she asked me. And she said, are you ever with somebody just so you're not alone? And I went, yeah, I've been there, done that for about 13 years or so. Yeah, and she goes, well, I guess kind of that's where I was too. Because people settle because they think that's all they're going to get. They really don't go after what they want because they let what society tells them or what their disability tells them get them in a mind frame or a mindset to stop. You have to go after what you want, but you also have to know your own worth and that you're, well, where have I heard that before? You have to know your own worth and understand that you have to go after what you want. And to do that, you've got it takes work.
You have
it's any kind of relationship is a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, Lord.
I just think the relationship with yourself has to be worked on before you could
exactly
have a relationship with anyone else.
And even after you have that relationship with somebody, you cannot forget the you in that because you still got to work on and remember to take time for you.
Yep.
All the time. Because if you don't exist or you can't take care of you, how you gonna take care of anybody else?
Exactly. That's why when I sat down with myself at a younger age and said, oh my God, do I want to have children? Do I want to not have children? And I was looking at myself as a female, I would have wanted to have children, but as who I am, I couldn't take. I needed to focus on the time of taking care of myself rather than taking care of another person.
I know we probably have another guest to come on, but I want to ask Miss Winnie a question because maybe she can shed a little bit of light on this because we've hit this topic a couple of times. And I want to ask this question while I'm thinking about it. We discussed this kind of yesterday a little bit, and we were even talking about it with Kim when she was on here earlier. Why do you think, Miss Winnie, that people with disabilities, let's just keep it in the disabilities perspective for a minute or the differently able perspective for a minute. Why do you think they struggle with the fact of can I really have children or will I be a good father or mother? Is it often, do you think it's often self-reflection of them first and then they're judging that based on what they do? You understand what I'm asking? Does it make sense?
I don't know if I think sometimes society has a lot to do with that.
Yep.
I believe that because of the way they are with so many other things and how when you don't know about disability and the significance of others, their ignorance get in the way of seeing people for who they are and not their disability. So I feel like because so many other things has happened and they're judged in so many other ways, I think personally, before they get ready to have a child or is pregnant with having a child, their mind thinks sometimes how society going to look at me or what the doctors are going to say or what the nurse is going to say, versus just taking it and just saying, okay, you know what, I could do this just like anybody else. I might just do it a little bit different
Mm-hmm.
But I could do it just like anybody else. If my body can conceive and allow me to have a baby, why can't I?
Mm-hmm.
If you know your body and capable and able to have a child, I think that you should not allow society to dictate to you any other thoughts.
I love that.
Any other thoughts.
I love that. That is well said.
Uh,
Because there's even single mothers and single fathers
yeah.
out there that are doing it and doing it by themselves.
Yeah.
Prime, you know, I just I feel bad because there is a big piece of society that goes, oh, you can have children, you can be happy. You mean you have a girlfriend? You're in a chair. You're not in a little room with nothing but a toilet and a. I think people think that we're just in these boxes, and we got a little bed that we sleep in, and we use the bathroom, and we need help with everything. There has to be a point where we break out of this mold of we do succeed. I mean, that's just. But I feel bad to see, you know, to see people that are of the disabled community that want to find love, but just look for the first thing that they see. They don't.
You know, I think that's what makes me disappointed, because I feel like some of them just want it so bad they settle. And when you settle, it's all wrong. It's all wrong, and not the right people, and people taking advantage and just using you for your disability, and because they can. And as sad as it is to say, when someone watch you and they want to become your friend and or slash mate, I do feel like some of them do it purposely because they feel like they can. Oh, this person needs me, so I'm going to, whether it's male or female, and I'm gonna take advantage because I can. And I just think that when you're in a vulnerable place, you still got to keep your mind open and eyes open and ears open so you can receive who this person is for themselves. You know,
that's why I got scared of when that person put the phone number in the chat box, because I want to bring up how, you know, we can be vulnerable when people appear to do that and just throw a phone number in the chat box.
Yeah, we're not looking for somebody to take care of us. We're looking for somebody to love us. That's
right.
all.
Exactly.
And it just, I think, you know, it's not a mathematical equation. It's not E equals MC squared. I see so many people, even people that are not disabled, to go outside of the disabled community. They find it and they get it, and then it's so fast they're like suction cups to a window. Just they go right there, and it's all, you don't take a chance to evaluate it and let it happen. And I think that's it's as bad for you as it is for the other person, because you can't force someone to love you, and you can't force one to stay in love with you. You fall in and out of love the same way. When it happens, you can't prevent it from happening. It just does. That's life.
Right. And when you're in that relationship or situation and you realize this person, like Siobhan said earlier, this guy literally said, basically, this ain't what he wants. I can't handle this.
You need me.
And then there are situations where two people with disabilities, they you find out that, you know, even though you love them and stuff, do you really want to be having to take care of your own disability and their disability? Can you handle the disability together? Those 2 or 3 or 4 disabilities together.
That's a great question. That's a real now. Let me say this, and I had to figure this out when Emily and I were dating. That was, my mom and my brother asked that question. You are both disabled. How are you going to do it? How are you going to make it work? You both don't drive yet. I had to put that in there yet. But let me just, how are you going to make it work? And to answer the question, it's a process. God, every one of Miss Winnie's, it's a process. It literally, to go through it. Okay, let's get real for one minute. We've been real a lot, but let me break it down on a DJ level y'all may not know. Socks and shoes and jeans I can put on myself. I can use a reacher. I can put them on, but it takes a while.
Yeah.
And Emily knows this. Emily decided to help. Okay. She started helping. I got used to it. The other day, she had a doctor's appointment. My chair was there. I got up, got in the shower, got out the shower. Took me about 20 minutes to get the underwear on. I said, whoa, I ain't done this in a while. Then I got my jeans on. Then I got my shirt on. Then I said, okay, all right, I can still do it. But see, here's the thing. Where one needs a little help, the other one may have a strength there. Like with Emily, she helps with laundry. She helps with cleaning the house. She helps with cooking some stuff. She'll cook breakfast or make a sandwich or make pancakes. I'm teaching her, but she's also learning. The budget, I take care of the budget. I cook the meals. I help clean the house. I go to the store. I, handle the mail. I handle the financial stuff. We
compliment.
Yeah, thank you. We compliment each other. Now, there's a comment that Kimberly said, yes, people nowadays want to date for the heck of it. Relationships don't work that way. Hang on a second. When you date casually, I feel like Dr. Ruth, when you date casually and you start slow, okay, your dating is like putting together a puzzle. You cannot force a piece in there that doesn't want to go. I believe that as well. I do believe that everyone has a soulmate. But in the same thing, it's more once you date them, and you will find out if you fall in love with them. You will find out if the love is going to be there once you've had a chance to get to know them and build that structure. You don't have to force it. Some people, you got to be careful, because some people want to date to get one thing and go. That's it. They want to hit it and quit it. And that's all it is to it. And it's a dangerous game that way. But I'm not by far the perfect, nowhere near the perfect man. But I know one thing about me that I can say up front, and this is what I love about myself. And it's okay to love parts of yourself and realize, hey, this is good. This is strong qualifications. I do what I say I'm going to do. I'm upfront and honest about who I am, the disability that I have, and what I bring to the table. My legs might not be very stable, but this right here, this 9.5 pound gland I got up here is very stable. And it's because of that stability and the belief within myself that I've had to use this brain to figure out how to do certain things that some people told me you don't need to be doing that. I said, okay, too bad, so sad. See you. That's right, I said it.
Wow, DJ.
I mean, yeah, that. But you've got to be, and that's where the honesty comes in. That's where and some people are just, they want to just date to do that. I can't do that. I cannot just date to be a booty call and go on, because I can't do that with someone unless I have a ring on the finger or we are committed in a relationship where she ain't going nowhere. Otherwise, you ain't getting that. I'm because it's far too precious to give away. To me, that's something far too precious to give away. Because when you do that, it's not a relationship now. It's a whoa, we've jumped from level 1 to level 25 in about however long, and you ain't nothing left. I don't know. I would rather build a foundation of a house first than to go straight to the bedroom of the house when the walls ain't up.
I was like that. I was like that too, but now I want to build a foundation of the house. And but it's hard giving away one part. It's hard to give away the heart, and then to give away something else.
I've learned, and I agree with that, Marie, but I've learned this. See, women are like butterflies. And I'm going to use an analogy because I can hold this hand flat up here to the camera. If you hold a woman like this and let her come back to you or come to you on her own will, she'll come to you on her own will. If you hold her like this, she can't breathe. You're going to smother her. I did that because I'm oh my God, am I good enough? You're so pretty. I just went, I'm just like, the whole, oh my God, she's in my house. What do? I got to get. And she's like, oh dear God, let me get out of here. Because I come on so daggone strong, like 12 quarts of bug spray and WD-40. And you don't give a chance to, that's the only thing I can think of to smell bad. You don't get a chance to live a little bit and let her see it. Let her find out for herself.
Why did you feel like you had to do that in the beginning?
Oh God, honestly, because I felt no woman would ever love me enough to marry me.
Okay.
So I had to force it.
Okay.
And I felt like that was my last relationship. He was there and he wanted me so bad, and I was like, I wanted a partner, so I went with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even think about it.
Would you read that, Miss? I have
Hope said, I have a question. Do anyone know if CP get worse as you age? I am getting older, and now they are putting me in a wheelchair because of falling 10 times a week. They are saying it might be two different things. It could be possibly something else. And I would say before you get put in a wheelchair, because you don't want to, and I do not use this word, like you don't want to cripple yourself.
Yes.
Okay. So I would say get a second or third opinion to find out if it's something serious or a condition or a disease you don't know about. Because anything can happen. Like here, Kelly, 34 years later. Kelly found out last year in July. I was trying to think of her age at the time. She was still 35 at the time. 35 years later, Kelly found out we found out Kelly has a rare progressive eye disease. And I had to find a specialist for this. So I would say definitely get a second opinion before you even let anyone put you in a wheelchair. Getting put in a wheelchair when you don't need to be put in a wheelchair can cripple you, take away your independence. You know, and you don't want that if you're so used to being on your own, doing things, you know, without having a lot of help. Okay. So before you take away or allow someone to take away all your independence, seek at least 2 or 3 advices.
And don't, and this is a famous saying I always say too. Don't forget, just because we have CP doesn't mean doesn't exclude us from getting inherited stuff. And you know,
Good point.
I
Good point.
I got psoriatic arthritis years ago, and unlike rheumatoid arthritis,
Right. Right.
psoriatic arthritis is an autoimmune deficiency. So, and I have a lot of autoimmune deficiency issues in my family. And because I had that, it messed up my CP.
Which can add on to it.
Which
Right. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't.
can make your CP worse. I mean, the doctors say CP doesn't get worse, but what CP gets is when we age and get stupid aging stuff. It's when something comes in your house and tries to knock off the CP, like the arthritis came into my house and knocked off my CP. That's when my CP started getting worse. It was because I couldn't control the invader in my house.
The other part of that, it also depends on the hope that it also depends on the type of CP you have. As far as CP getting worse, to kind of piggyback off of what Marie just said, CP can get worse as far as tightening, the tightening of the muscles.
Right.
Now, here's something I'm going to say. With falling, that can be related to vision. It can be related to the ears. It can be related to fluid in the brain. It can be related to a UTI. A UTI can make you fall because it can throw off balances. But now, this is one of the reasons I want to kind of back up to what Miss Winnie said. Don't get into a chair unless you have to, because when you get into a chair, that's when you have to stretch every day. Get out of the chair as much as you can. Follow your doctor's orders and do what they say, but also trust yourself too. And learn not to sit in one position for hours, because you can get blood clots, you can get pressure sores, you can get things like that. So that you really want to, like, it's good that you're going to get tested and make sure they test thoroughly, because the simplest thing, an inner ear infection, can throw off your equilibrium.
And from the women's side, from the women's point of view, it could also be something stupid, like your menstrual cycle is going through a different cycle, or you're starting to go through menopause, pre-menopause. That always, no matter what doctors say, no matter what the male guy says, when you have a disability such as cerebral palsy, our hormones get so crazy they can knock the CP off balance.
One of the easiest ways to detect if it's truly your CP, when you get evaluated, the doctor can sit you on the side of the table with your legs sitting on the floor, and you start with your hands at your side, and you slowly lift one hand up and hold that hand up. Keep that hand up there. When you go to take your other hand off that table, if you feel like you're falling to one side or you start jittering and your body starts going, whoa, that's related to CP. That's a sure sign, because your trunk, which is what holds you up, and I used to have to do this. The doctor would sit me on the table. He said, all right, DJ, put both hands on the side of the table. Lift your left hand up. I lift my left hand up. I was good, right? He said, now lift your right hand up. I said, He said, why not? I said, because I'm going to fall over. He said, you sure? So I lift the hand up and I fall to the right. We all have a dominant side. But yeah, get thoroughly tested and make sure that, they go through, because it could be something simple. You don't want to get into a wheelchair unless you have to. We'll definitely be praying.
Put up a fight. Don't just let them tell you that. So definitely, I'm so glad you and your parents made a decision just to go get you tested. And again, if you have to get 2 or 3 different opinions, just do that. Sometimes it's best to get more than one opinion, because somebody might see something different than the next person. So I would definitely get to
sometimes it could be as silly as a drug you're on, and the drug isn't working as well as it should be right now.
But too, if you have a neurologist, see a neurologist as well, because a neurologist and your doctor's great, but a neurologist can tell you a lot more about what's going on with all the stuff,
Exactly. And I go see a neurologist once every 6 months.
I'm on it twice. Hello, y'all.
Hi.
Hello.
We can't see you. There you go.
How y'all doing? This is the first. Okay. This is the first time I'm doing this, so y'all bear with me, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna put you on mute and let you go ahead on and try to get that together. Okay. Kelly has something she wants to say, y'all.
Miss Kelly, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Marie. I guess. Hey, everyone. How y'all doing?
We're good, Kelly.
That's good, DJ. I guess I'm gonna tell you my name, DJ. I'm gonna tell y'all. Look, my name is Kelly Smith. My name is Kelly Smith. I'm 35. I'm Cerebral Palsy.
Kelly, take your time, baby.
Okay, Mama. Hey, I'm taking time, Mama.
Okay.
I'm going.
Okay.
All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Kelly Smith. I'm 35. I am Celtic Palsy. That's it.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly Smith. I'm 35 and I have cerebral palsy. Okay. So she knows, of course, she knows what I'm talking about. And these are things that I'm teaching her. So I'm teaching her gradually. So I got to let some things just marinate and just get in her before I go to the next thing to teach her about her cerebral palsy. So she can add that to that sentence. And before you know it, she'll have a long little message because about her cerebral palsy and what it is, what type of cerebral palsy she has. So that's what her and mommy working on. So got to take baby steps. With her so she can get it. So yeah. Right, Callie?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's my girl. What can I say? Kelly said, I want to get over there and get on the video. So I said, come on around. Come on around, Kelly. This is all because of you. I do what I do because of Kelly. So I dare not to let her get on here. And she's sitting right there. The other day she had a moment because she wanted to stay in her bed. And then the first day, that was Friday, she wanted to stay in her bed because she liked to sit in her room, look at TV. She got a radio or TV. She got everything in there. And sometimes that's her comfort zone. I was like, okay. When everything was, can I get on a video? Boo, we done. We done now. You won't be getting on nobody video right now. So not today, maybe the next time. So here she go. Deborah said, "Hi, Kelly. How beautiful, Kelly." And Kimberly said, "I am proud, very proud of sweet Kelly."
Oh, thank you.
So yes. So let's go here on to our next guest, y'all. You know, of course, we get into a nice little dialogue, and it could take us some places. So our next guest here is Crystal. And Crystal found us via someone else, and we talked, had a little chat and everything. And I'm excited for y'all to hear her conversation. Her topic is before and after Christ. So I know some of y'all probably wonder, what does that mean? Well, listen on and you will find out. So, Crystal, go ahead on and introduce yourself, and then we're going to let you have the floor, and we're going to step away. But go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Crystal Thibodeau. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana, and I look forward to telling y'all my testimony in a few minutes.
All right, there you go. See, I think, I had a message earlier about it was a flyer I posted from from our first year Cerebral Palsy conference. And my message was is one thing when you're live in person and you get to see everyone and touch and just have a lot of joy and fun and of being in the surrounding, because it's a totally different atmosphere and it's a beautiful atmosphere. But it's another level when it's virtual, but it's a blessing at the same time, because we get to have people from all over the world to join us that's not able to get to where we at. So, but when things clear up, we will go back to our space again, but we're going to keep it virtual as well. So we're going to do both when we go back to getting into place. Because I know Robert, he was like, I'm not liking this. I just like to be around the people. I like to be with the people. And it is a difference. It really is a huge difference. But again, this is a blessing, because you get to meet people all over. Well, we're going to go here on, Crystal. Thank you for reaching out to me. I can't wait to hear your journey, and for others to hear that no matter your disability, the rest is yours. All right, DJ, I need you to smile. Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm here. I'm just I was listening to what you saying, Miss Winnie, and I turned in there.
You were tuned in.
I sure was. I'm ready for it.
All right, me, Maria, and DJ going to go ahead on and step aside, and the floor is yours. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
look at me and my singer.
Hello, everyone. As I said earlier, my name is Crystal Thibodeau. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana, and I'm gonna tell y'all my testimony on how I came to Christ. It all started with me as a child. As a child, I was very bad. I was very manipulative. I used to curse everybody out. I was very thuggish, and I acted very hood and street. I also was very mean. I was also a very selfish person, but that all ended whenever I came to my ministry that I'm a part of, which is Refuge Temple Ministries. Uh, we have a total of 7 churches. I'm in the Lafayette location. We have Dallas, Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, and well, I'm just naming them 3. I was the type of person that would always tell people off, and I would always, you know, expect people to do what I say, and I never listened to authority. But prior to me coming to Refuge Temple Ministries, I went there in the year of 2019. I went there. My first encounter with the ministry was in March of 2019, and I I went there. I went there. I went there pretty broken. Uh, I'm sorry. I went there pretty broken because I was very depressed. I also, in the midst of all of this, I um, I lost my my best friend. I lost him in the year of 2008. His name was Cody. He also had cerebral palsy. He died. He died because of his cerebral palsy. His cerebral palsy was more severe than mine. And then in the year of 2019, I lost my uncle, and that's when I actually had my first encounter with God. I was raised up in church, but I didn't know the truth of God like I know now. And that's when my whole life began to change. My whole my whole life began to change. My mind began to change, and every part of me just began to change. The My street mindset left when I got saved. I just recently got filled with the Holy Ghost on August 12th of 2020. What the Holy Ghost is it's a it changes everything about you. The way you talk, the way you think, the way you act. It just changes everything about you. And I was one that was also backbite and talk about people. I would, I was, I was bound to internet dating ever since I was 10 years old. It started when I was 10 years old. And then, uh, prior to the internet dating, I did that for many years until I was 21. Then I got engaged to my first fiance at that age. I was 21 years old when I met him, and he was 25. We stayed together for 4.5 years. We stayed together for 4.5 years, and then I I actually broke up with him. I left him, and I stayed single for 2 years. Then in 2019, which is the year I went to the ministry, um, I actually got encountered with another guy from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We stayed together for 3 years. And when I came to the church and when I decided to change my life and really surrender my life unto God, um, things were things were different in my relationship because I no longer wanted to do the things that I'd done with him, which was kissing and all of that. I didn't want to do that because that was displeasing to God. And in the Bible, it actually states that marriage is honorable and the bed is undefiled. And I actually, I when I left him, uh, he actually said that the church broke us up, but it wasn't the church. It was God coming on the inside of me, and it was the examples I had in the ministry, which uh, which are my evangelist. She's like a spiritual mom to me. Her name is Sharmir. Um, and then I had my local pastors, which is Pastor Aaron Williams, Pastor Adam Lede, Pastor Marlon Mitchell, Pastor Courtney Tebow, and just to name a few. And actually, when I got saved, everything, like I keep saying, everything began to change. I didn't, and um, I was a very disobedient child as well. And when I was in grade school and up until my high school years, I was very troublesome. I um I actually got suspended 4 times in my high school. Um and I was just really crying out for help all them years. And I also um always wanted to fit in with the world, and I also was a people pleaser. I pleased everybody instead of pleasing God, because that's what we really supposed to please, and we supposed to acknowledge God in all of our ways and not just some. And in 2016, I had the pleasure of being Miss Wheelchair Louisiana. My topic that I wrote when I was Miss Wheelchair Louisiana was about love, because I just thought before salvation, I just thought having a man was everything. And I ended up winning, and it ended up being the worst decision of my life, because I had to endure a lot of things. But as I came to God, um, God actually began to show me that I was Miss Wheelchair Louisiana for the wrong reasons. I actually did Miss Wheelchair Louisiana for recognition, because I was always also the type of person that always wanted to be seen and heard, and I always wanted to be the center of attention. But as I said, coming into God, I I had to learn that it's not all about me, and definitely my leaders and everybody in my ministry that I'm a part of, they definitely have taught me how to be a woman of God and how to actually receive people and how to actually love people. Because I also always in the world, I had my people picked. I would only associate with certain people if they had type of this type of quality with them, or or if they didn't have the type of quality that I wanted them to have, um, they were basically nothing to me. And I was just a horrible person. But now that I'm in God, I actually know how to love people. I actually know how to accept people. I actually know how to look upon the needs of others instead of just myself. Actually, now I put the needs of others before the needs of myself. And I would just like to thank um my spiritual mother, Sharmir, for being such a great and awesome example. And I also would like to thank everyone in my ministry, because they really taught me how to be the woman of God that I am today. And I actually want to glorify God for bringing me this far. And I actually want to speak about how I came across this organization. Actually, my Miss Wheelchair Louisiana coordinator, she actually tagged me in the live that Miss Wilson had. And prior to me receiving this live, I was talking to one of our evangelists in my ministry. And we have a college ministry called True Life Change. And we had a True Life Change meeting. I'm not in college, but I help out in that department and in that type of auxiliary. And I was telling him that I wanted to see more people, more people in my condition with cerebral palsy, join the ministry and come to Christ. And so he began to tell me, he was like, Sister Crystal, let me tell you. He said, if you keep being a light towards everyone that you're around and everyone in this world, it's going to happen for you. So I ran with that. So just so happened, something told me on Friday or Saturday, something told me to check my notifications from Friday. So literally, y'all, I woke up out of my sleep. God did not want to let me sleep. He did not want to let me rest. I couldn't sleep for nothing. And I checked the notifications. I checked the live, and that's how I got in contact with Miss Wilson. And I want to thank her for this opportunity that she gave me to share my hope and to share the hope of Christ and I just want to encourage everyone in my condition. If you are tired of being depressed, sad, mad, and everything else that's bothering you and troubling you, I want you to know that God tells us to come unto him, all ye that labor and are heavy laden. Take his yoke upon you and learn of him, and he will give you rest unto your souls. And that's what he's done. He's gave me rest unto my soul, and he's really transformed me into the woman of God that I am today. Thank y'all, and God bless.
Okay.
Good hearing.
Very transparent, authentic, deep. Okay, so I was taking notes. Okay, so I was taking notes, and I was getting ready to come up before, and Kelly said, "No, I want to listen to this," and I'm like, it was one of them Scooby Doo, like what?
Hallelujah.
No, I want to listen to this. I'm thinking, okay.
That was my sole purpose. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Miss Kelly.
Kelly, funny. So, I do want to say, because I'm Holy Ghost filled. God has really blessed me in so many ways, and I feel like God do know our hearts. He know our intentions. He knows when we're hurting. He knows when something is missing from us, and I felt like he needed your attention to get you from the evil ways, because it sounded like the enemy really had control of your mind.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
he had control of your mind, and I don't feel like the enemy God wanted you to be like that. So sometimes in life we go through different situations and storms and journeys and all these things, but at the same time listening to your story, it was like she's hurting somewhere and nobody hears it. She's hurting in a place, and she's this is, I can't believe this was truly who you were. I feel like it was
Yes,
someone else
ma'am.
that was taking control totally of you.
Yes, ma'am.
I know we have people in so many different ways. People do different things. People kill, people hurt, people, fight and stuff like that. But for you to be transformed in the way you were, God knew. I honestly feel like God knew.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so here you are living with a condition called
Yes,
cerebral palsy,
yes, ma'am.
where there's millions, and one of the number one childhood disease. You know, here you are living with this disease, this condition,
Mhm.
that disease, this condition, and you're acting out. I'm gonna call it
Yes,
acting.
ma'am.
You're acting out, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I just don't feel like God wanted you to be like that. I
No,
feel like
ma'am.
someone knew, someone heard, someone saw, and directed you. It had to be a divine intervention somewhere there to get you to the place that you were at in order for God to say, stop. We're going to
Yes,
have
ma'am. I actually forgot to mention her too. She's one of my other spiritual mothers, and her name is Sakrita Huvo.
okay. Yeah, because I just can't seem to gather in myself that this was really you. This was,
Yes, ma'am.
not being like that. So we've had a lot of stories. We've had a lot of stories of relationships. We've had a lot of stories of uh, being alone. We've had a lot of stories of uh, being in the wrong place. We had a lot of stories of people being taken advantage of. We've had so many stories here, and this transparent story with you living with cerebral palsy. Let me say this. I'm so glad. However, you being in the right place at the wrong time, you being in the right place at the right time, and for divine intervention to step in and get you where you needed to be in order for God to wake you up.
Yes,
I feel
ma'am.
like that was a true wake up moment. I don't think that you even wanted to be that person. I feel
No,
like
ma'am.
sometimes you might even question yourself, why am I like this? Why am I doing this? Why am I this person? Why am I hurting somebody else? I wouldn't want nobody to do this to me. I wouldn't want nobody to take advantage of me. I wouldn't want nobody to do these things. So I want to say again, thank God for God. Thank God that He stepped in and you was receiving it. You received it. See, because it could be a whole different story where this could have happened and you didn't receive it,
Yes, ma'am.
you know? So,
And I'm sorry I was all over the place, y'all. I was very nervous. I'm so sorry.
well, we have a lot of nervous ones, but they do it. So thank God you just did it. You felt like opening your heart. You felt like being transparent, opening your story. So we have to say, who else can this help? Who else can this help? Who else is in a situation, maybe not exactly like yours, but out here doing something that they know is not right, and they just have, because it's all in the mind. It's
Yes,
all about changing your heart, changing
yes,
your mindset, and just receiving God to love you and to teach you about love and not hurt. You know,
Yeah, it truly. I mean, to come out of where you came out of, having that, back before you came to Christ, having that hardened heart where everything just, it was boom, 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 and just hit after hit after hit, to realize, and you said in your testimony, you know, eventually I realized it was a cry for help, and what I was doing was a cry for help. But to have that changed heart into a heart of flesh, which only God can do, that's when, you know, to hear it come out and be like, I realized that this was happening because I realized that this was happening because. And you said when you lost your friend, and I believe it was your uncle, that was your first encounter with God. And I'm like, okay, you know. So I mean, I can see where it's, when you go through something traumatic like that and have a life-changing experience, to be somebody totally different, but to also to live like Christ. That's an entirely different, you know, that's an entirely different situation by itself.
Yeah, you said displeasing to God. And before you named so many things. You named disobedient, troublesome, suspended from school, years of hurt, people pleaser. I mean, imagine all them things, bullying people, talking about people.
Right.
That
manipulative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he saw that. I just can't believe that he wanted you to be that person. So he had to use somebody to get to you so he could grasp you and get you out of that place. It really was a dark place. It was a dark place.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so glad that you're not in that dark place now.
No,
and I
ma'am.
feel like that it will help somebody, especially in the disability community, because I mean, you got people that's on drugs, alcoholics, I mean, all kinds of, even with a disability. Mm-hmm. So this, you know what, this goes to show when people judge people with disabilities, when they judge people in a wheelchair, judge people that walk a little different, judge people that use a walker or a cane or a crutch, or they judge because they don't know the significance of each individual person.
Right.
So when people say human, what do you mean by human? Because everybody is human. Everybody's life is different. So human is human, regardless if, boy, if I had a gun in my hand, I probably would have shot you. Did y'all see that in the mirror?
No.
Mr. Wilson came up.
He saw that. He was like, oh my God.
I saw that face, Miss Wilson.
I said, sorry, y'all. That startled me. That startled me for a minute. I always tell my husband, can you just announce yourself when you come in or something? But anyway, man, my husband could preach on this one right here. He could preach on that one. But I lost my thought because he's scared the living mess out of me.
you were listing what she came through and people with disabilities and how it can help them.
Human. What is human? Mm-hmm. Right, DJ. Thank you so much.
I'm here for you.
Yeah. What is human? You know, what is normalcy?
Mm-hmm.
What is normal?
I think the word normal or normalcy should be taken under the dictionary. Just my opinion.
I agree. That's why I was like, what is it? What do people mean by normal? What do they mean by that? See, because I have a problem with that. I'm normal. Okay?
Kelly,
DJ is normal. Maria is normal. Crystal is normal. Kelly is normal. We are all normal. And we do things different. It don't matter if you have a condition or not a condition. So what is normal? Why do people choose to want to use that word when they're talking about someone with a disability or someone without a disability? But more so when they talk about people with a disability. What do you mean by normal? There is no such thing in a difference of a person that has a condition versus a person that don't. Normal is normal. Because you got people do different things. You got alcoholics, drug users, gang people, every people that do different things, whether they have a condition or not. So, I'm gonna do a specific show just on normal, period.
Oh, I'll be on that show in a second.
On
But
that.
I
but
want to be on that show too.
What I'm saying, it's not a difference. It's not a difference.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not a difference. Life is life. Normal is no. People are people.
right.
People are people. So when people say, "Oh well, the normal life," what is the normal life? Kelly has a normal life. It's her life. Is what? Okay, I'm gonna get off of that subject right there because that's a whole nother subject. However, it brought me to Crystal's story, her testimony. It's not even a story. That's a true testimony right there. That's a testimony from being a victim of the enemy to becoming a Christ person, someone that want to walk with Jesus, want to be like Christ, someone that mindset has been touched and changed and their heart has been loosened and lightened up from being that evil person and being the person that didn't care about other people because they were really lost. That's what I felt. I really felt, Crystal, that it was that you were really lost. And it could have been because of the tradition.
She was trapped.
To do with it.
She was trapped. I mean, and that's what it comes down to. When you're in that place, that dark place that you were talking about, to come out of that and to be shown the light as to switch over. It's a complete metamorphosis.
Yeah.
From head to toe.
I think anyone with a disability, CP or whatever, we do get trapped in that, like, we're not normal, and because people tell us, and we have to find a way to deal with that. For some people, it's like Crystal here. She believed that she was a mean person, and she believed that God saved her. And for someone else,
Excuse me just for a moment. Same person, y'all, different photo. Ignore that. That has nothing to do with Kelly's choice, okay? So do not acknowledge this message from this evil person that's trying to steal from others, okay? Because that's all it is. It's someone that just don't care about people. All right, that's what this is. So ignore that. It's a spam because we are public. In order to use these services, you have to go public. Okay, so ignore these that they're sending out to each individual one of y'all that's on here. Shame on them. It's sad for them. Okay. All right, go ahead.
I think that, each person that feels like they go in the black hole and have to cling on to something to get out of the black hole, whether it's religion or whether it's something else. I think it's their choice on how to get out of the black hole. What Crystal did, Crystal picked what was best for her. I know that I was in a black hole at a time in my life, and I did what was best for me at that time to get out of that black hole. No.
Okay. And then one day your life changed.
Yep. You just have to figure out what's best for you.
I totally agree. I totally agree. You have to figure out how to get out of that.
And to want to get out of it.
And that's why I say she received it.
Yep.
Thank God she received it. Because that's what it's all about, whether you're going to receive it or not. Or do you want to stay in that position, that situation? or that hole, that dark place. So this is actually good. This is good. It could work for people on drugs. It could work for people that's alcoholics. It could work for people that prostitutes their body. It could work for on so many levels um, of being in a dark place and hurt and broken and lost and stuck. It could be many things. Just don't know how to gasp it and get it together. So you pour out in ways that is not good or pleasing to God. And it's you gave the enemy space. So I mean I appreciate this conversation. This is definitely a totally different conversation, but it's real.
Yeah.
It's so real. Yeah. I'm glad you can relate to not hers, but hers because of the dark place, Marie. So I appreciate that. Yeah, I just saw that again, right? So imagine I'm looking this way and all I see is a figure walking past, and it's like he's so quiet. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna have to move that mirror or change my camera. I'll have to probably change my camera. That's what
She gonna do that tonight, y'all. I can see that.
I tell you, that thing ain't gonna be looking right there. Not tomorrow. It won't be like that.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for that testimony, and for Marie also speaking up and saying, "Yeah, I understand the dark place, and I understand acting out sometimes." I think Marie shared something like that a while back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. You did share something like that a while back. Yeah.
In the other group that.
Yeah. Sure did. Yeah. Yeah. See, and this is why I say you never know whose story, journey, or testimony can either help the next person, inspire, encourage, lift up, motivate, change, motivate to see, dang, I can come out of this place. I can move on from this. This ain't what I want to be anyway.
No, it's just the way you climb under that black hole. It could be just some people that you're attracted to, like Kelly's choice, might help you get out of that black hole. Religion might help you get out of that black hole. Maybe reading self-help books or something that we've been talking about all throughout this working out.
Yeah.
And working out for me is like my going to church. If I don't work out, I'm just frustrated and crabby, and I haven't been able to work out in a week because I hurt myself really bad, and my frustration level is so high that if someone dares to say something to me negatively, I'm ready to pop them one. And believe me, you don't want me to pop you one.
Okay, right.
That's good.
No, we don't want that. We definitely don't want that.
Well,
Jay. Okay, go ahead.
There's so many that have that hopeless feeling, like, how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to get out of this? That right there shows that you can. And somebody listening can finally take that breath and go, just to get that feeling of, that, because it's been hammering them. Because sometimes when you're in a situation and it breaks you down. I mean, you can only take so much, but once you, like I said before, once you hit rock bottom, you've got nowhere to go but up.
Right.
And sometimes God uses that to show you, look, this is where you are. This is where I want you to be. Let's get you here, and let's get you out of where you are, and let's get you into the light and out of that dark area in your life, and let's just change that. And while we're there, let's change the way you think about people, the way you feel about people, to understand the true agape love that Christ can give, to show what Christ can give you, because Christ's love is like no other. It fills those deep cracks and those deep holes that you've been gouged out, because you've got to empty out to let the Spirit fill you. You've got to empty all that mess out to let the Spirit fill your soul the right way.
And sometimes the Spirit says, okay, follow me, but other times the Spirit says, follow this direction, don't follow me, follow this direction. Because I don't think the Spirit 100%. Don't get me wrong, I believe in God. I just
No.
think that I think working with God is a 50-50 thing. Don't think God is like 100% telling you what to do. I think like any relationship,
We do that often. They know
it's a 50-50.
me.
You sure? You need anything?
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you go ahead.
It's okay.
You want me to stay your phone back up?
Mm.
Or you want me to go get it covered up?
Yeah, you can sit it up.
You want me to get it covered so it could prop up more?
Mm-hmm.
Look, you done folded your thing in and everything.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just want to say it. Can I say a couple of more things?
Yeah,
Or no, no?
Yes.
Okay. So, because I really didn't get to finish everything, if anybody would like to reach out to me, my Facebook name is Crystal T, which is K. My name is spelled KRYSTAL. And then I have T like the T-shirt, except it's T. It's T with two E's and if you would like to follow our ministry, you can go to our YouTube, which is the RTM group. You can just type that in with no spaces. My ministry is under the direction of Chief Apostle Wendell Archie. As I said in my testimony, we have 7 churches. I'm a part of the Lafayette one. And God has really put me in a place where I never really thought I could be, because I never really thought that I could be, I never really thought I could be a woman of God. I never really thought I could be a woman, period, because I was such a street person. I was like a little thug. The only thing that I didn't do is go to jail and do drugs. But my mindset was the mindset of a person, of a thuggish person, like a street person in the hood. That's how my mindset was. And I never really, the way I would speak was hoodish. I didn't even know how to talk like a woman. But
You sound too country to speak like a thug. How did you even speak like a thug? What was that voice like? I can't even imagine.
I would say like what's good and stuff like that. I would say it was good and all that type of stuff. And I'm sorry, all on my slide. Y'all go ahead, all kind of traffic. But I would say like was good and stuff. And whenever, because like I told, like I said in my testimony, I was bound by internet dating ever since the age of 10. And when I would talk to a man, I would tend to change my voice for it to sound seductive and for it to sound kind of womanish, but kind of eye catching at the same time to make them want me.
That wasn't
Uh,
at the age of 10, was it?
no, ma'am, no, ma'am. It was when I got older, but I started the internet dating at 10 years old.
How you even knew about that at age 10?
If
Um,
my,
I was just I was just around many different people. Many of my workers that took care of me was the divine influence. I was I have a amazing family. I was raised well, but I was just like I was
Was
going
that more on the
bad.
sneaky side? Was that more on the sneaky side at the age of 10?
Yes. And when I got engaged, I just wanted to have the title of a wife. But as the scripture says, marry whosoever you will, only in the Lord, which means you have to marry somebody with the same mindset. Marry somebody that's saved. Marry somebody that loves God just like you. Um, because the scripture also says, um, how can two walk together except they be agreed? You have to be in agreement to the lifestyle. Like if somebody is with, just an example, if somebody is with a drug dealer, if somebody is with a drug dealer, the girl has to like the drugs or has to be equivalent to that same lifestyle. Or maybe she might just be a good girl and they might just turn her over a little bit and make her into that street girl. But my first fiance wasn't a street guy. He was like a humble young man. He was very quiet into himself. But my second one was a drug user. He did weed, sort of from my opposite. But at the time, I just wanted to be loved and accepted by anybody I could have been accepted by and loved by because I actually felt unloved by everybody because people hated me in my area. Like whenever, well, I'm very well known around my town in Lafayette, and whenever people would hear of me, they would literally run. That's how bad I was.
In a
And
wheelchair.
yes, and I never fought. I never done anything like that. But it was my mouth. It was the way I carried myself. It was the way I. It was the way I perceived my thoughts. It was the way the enemy just had me so bound to many different things. And when I lost my grandfather in 2007, I I was I actually got into a state of depression. And when I lost my uncle and my best friend, that's when the depression came. But when my uncle passed away, I was actually mad at God. My uncle died from a, um, a brain aneurysm. And And I was actually mad at God, and I remember telling God, why would you take him from me? And and I told my mama, because that was her brother. I told my mama, I said, if Uncle Larry wouldn't have went to them doctors, they wouldn't have killed him. I just had that type of mindset. But but at at the time when the time that I got into the ministry, um, my wonderful church family, who I love so dearly, um, they actually helped me cope with that. Um, I actually told the same testimony the first time I went to the church, and and some of the people from my ministry, some of the people knew me from the world, and as they began to see my life change, and as they began to see me grow, and as they began to see my zeal sprout up like a flower, they was amazed, because they would tell me, some of the brothers would tell me, Sister Krista, and some of the mothers and some of the brothers and sisters that knew me from my past life, they would tell me, oh, Sister Krista, I remember when you used to tell everybody off online, and when you used to pick fights, and when you used to post every guy that you was with, and you would always want it to be, you would always want to be a wifey of some sort, and every guy that I was with, I I would post them just so I could be just so I could be talked about and I could be the talk of the town. I also was one that loved to be seen. I love to be heard. I would take the
Hold on. Okay. I just want to say, thank God for God. Thank God for
yes ma'am.
divine intervention. I'm gonna leave it right there. Thank God for divine intervention. And wherever and whoever it was, thank God for them. God had to find the right person that knew would do exactly what he needed them to do, to put you
Yes
in the
ma'am.
place you needed to be in to change your mindset. That
Yes
was a
ma'am.
very, very dark place to be in. And your life is going to be so much more. This is just the beginning. This is truly just the beginning of your new life, that
Yes
mindset,
ma'am.
that heart, all of that. God might even have you go do some of the craziest things. And that, as far as maybe one, like apologizing. And you're gonna be like, oh no, you don't want me to do this, God. This can't be you. But God will have us do some of the craziest things ever.
Yes.
And it's all him. And each individual person that he may have you say something to, is all for a reason behind specific things that may have been said or done in the past times. Um,
Oops.
it's a terrible thing. The enemies, they say, the Bible says the enemy come to kill, steal, and destroy. But that's all day long. It's not even just the middle of the night. That's all day long. All day. Because he's busy all the time. And we got to learn and not give the enemy that attention and that space in our heads and our minds and our hearts. Because when you give him 1 inch, he take a mile or 10 or more.
And the scriptures say, give no place to the devil.
and you get no place to nobody that's of evil. You just don't. So thank God for all of this. And you said God said it's not just about, or you said it's just not about me. And God knew that. Wait a minute, boo, you got this all wrong. It's not about you. It's not all about you. It's you see, girl. There's a whole ministry right here. This a whole preacher moment right here. But I'm gonna let loose because we're gonna end this because I'm gonna let DJ and Marie share something if they want to share something. And to close out for today, we're gonna let everybody share something. Well, they can speak on what you said, and then each person can share something and leave a motivational message for everyone.
I think you spoke very eloquently, and it's a powerful thing to come from where you came from and to go through what you went through, and then come out on the other side of it, and to realize, where you want to be and where you want to, have God place you. That's an eloquent thing to see. And I understand a lot of Miss Winnie's question. The voice that I hear is sweet and country, and that Lafayette, you got Louisiana in there. I mean, that's them Louisiana words come out, but there really is a goodness, and a kindness to you that I can see and hear. It's a pleasure to have met you and to have you on the conference today. So I appreciate you being here. As far as a motivational message, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't just, when you see a person with a disability, or you see someone walking or rolling or hobbling or making their way down the street, whatever way they make it, don't judge them, because you don't know what they're going through until you roll a mile in their wheels or their shoes. And that's some things, people want to go so quick to say, "Oh, I know what you're going through." No, I don't agree with that. I don't believe that a person can honestly feel what you feel unless they've been there personally. So don't judge a book by its cover, and don't think that you know what a person is going through, or you understand what a person is going through until you walk a mile in their shoes, because some people have some awful big shoes to fill. And
awful big shoes to fill.
Thank you to all of our guests today for being here, Christina and Crystal. And my gracious, we've had some good speakers all throughout the conference, and we're coming back tomorrow from 12 to 2, and then break from 2 to 4, and then come back from 4 to 6. So I'm gonna hand it over to my sister over here, Miss Marie, and let her close out her little style there, and then we'll kick it back to Miss Winnie.
I think your message was great, Crystal. I think everyone in their lives, especially with disability, I think everyone winds up in the black hole every now and then. And it's not just one time in life. It could be 10 times in life. It could be a million times in life. Just the way you climb out of that black hole, that really makes you the person who you're supposed to be. And whether that's a calling from God or calling from someone else, get yourself out of the black hole and realize that no matter who you are, your life matters. And I think that's my saying to you, that no matter who you are, disability or not, your life matters.
Yes. I the timing couldn't have been better with having Marie on here today, and at this time. It couldn't have been better. You know, I believe in divine intervention. I believe in purpose and all of those things. And it was a reason. It literally was more than a reason. And plus, you've been so darn phenomenal, girl. You've been so phenomenal. But go ahead on, Marie. That's a shame. I gotta turn around and look at y'all names.
Okay, I did that to DJ yesterday.
I had to turn around and look at your names.
I just think, no matter whether it's working out, whether it's God, you, or whether it's something else, you have to have something to cling on when you have a disability so you could be independent. And just like Christina, what I cling on is working out and reading books. Oh my God, ever since I moved, I read like 50 books. And like I don't read, I listen to audio books. So audio books help me a lot, and I just read a good, and this goes with the subject. I just read a good one by Bishop Michael Curry, and I just fell in love with the bishop believes in 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 religion and like he didn't push her so much in the book. And that's why I fell in love with the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Marie.
Kelly, when am I gonna meet you in person?
I know, right? It's gonna happen one day. It's definitely gonna happen. We ready to take road trips. You know, we talk about our journey when we drove to California, so we ready to take road trips.
Hey, you take a road trip up here. It's only 6 hours.
Take a ride to. You and Kelly take a ride to Louisiana. Let me show y'all a good time.
I think that one is like 16 hours.
Tell you one thing: if I come to Louisiana, I'm getting me some crawfish, boy. Woo, Louisiana.
Louisiana, I'm getting myself a hurricane.
I've been to Baton Rouge, Louisiana one time. Best food I ever ate in my life. Wow. I ain't asked what it was, but I ate it, and it was the best food I ate in my life.
Yeah, wow. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. Tomorrow's gonna be great. We're gonna have some phenomenal speakers again on tomorrow. Hold on.
Now you can be here.
I know, right? Hold on. Okay.
BJ and Crystal.
Okay, so can y'all see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
This is Tawanda Williams. She's going to be on the show tomorrow. She was born without arms. She does these different movements, and when she goes out, this is when she was on Creflo Dollar show.
Mm-hmm.
This is her growing up and so forth. She just has such a phenomenal story. If y'all get a chance, you could go on Tawana Williams, that's TAWANA Williams.com, and check her out. She's going to come strong tomorrow. Just want to let y'all know she's going to.
I'm the hope coach, Tawana Williams, your messenger of hope and inspiration. And I was blessed to be born without arms and impaired use of my legs. 1 in 5 Americans has some kind of disability. A notion that hiring someone with a disability is more of a burden than an opportunity.
Donald Trump provoking fresh outrage. This time, the Republican frontrunner is accused of mocking a reporter who has a physical disability.
All things are possible that believe.
I'm the hope coach. The hope coach. The hope coach. You want some hope? I'm your girl. I'm your girl. Today I am an internationally known Les Brown platinum speaker, author, mentor, businesswoman, humanitarian, and CEO of Tawana Williams Outreach. Oh, you know, most people would have given up after going through what I've gone through, but I'm still here. I'm still standing. Why? Because I was born to win. I've experienced abortion, motherhood, and as I said, a stroke. But guess what? I'm still here. So I'm telling you today, whatever it is you want to do in your life, I challenge you today to do it.
But when God came to life, did he take care of that which psychologists couldn't take care of?
Lord have mercy. My mother told me there was nothing that I could not do. And I am so grateful to God that he allowed me to be born this way for such a time as this to help people all over the world.
You were actually taught how to use other parts of your body to compensate for the fact that you did not.
Oh my God.
Hear that?
Yes, actually, I was trained as a baby to use my feet as if they were my hands.
You're a mother, you're a wife,
What?
you're a friend, but you also draw. I'm amazed by
Oh
that.
my God.
She actually draws portraits with her.
What?
The world said, Tawana, you can't, you won't. But I said, oh, yes, I can.
I gotta come on this tomorrow.
Do it. And I
Oh.
did. The producers from the Judge Hatcher show, they contacted me and said, we heard about you. We have a troubled team that needs some help, and we need you. And I said, yes. Somebody ain't been fighting enough. Come on, guys. Ain't somebody not been swinging enough. Come on. Better fight for what you want. Come on. I decree and declare right now in the name of Jesus that you shall live and not die.
You are
Come on. I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't a woman.
Ooh-wee.
of a world change.
Hallelujah.
Good night.
Yes,
Miss Winnie, how long has she got? Because you need to multiply about
The
2.
whole day.
Goodness gracious. Woo-wee.
So she's coming on, y'all, tomorrow at 12 o'clock. She's our first speaker. She's
Damn.
coming on.
Yeah.
I know, Marie.
She listed all that stuff. She said, hope coach, author, this. I'm like, dang.
I think you're gonna have to set up a private meeting with us.
Oh, okay.
When she said,
I'll definitely, maybe I'll invite her to our group.
Ain't no maybe. Go ahead and get on that, Miss Winnie.
I'll bring you in the group, Marie. Maybe she can. I'll see if she come to our group. I'll talk to her.
I need to be back into the group. I haven't been in the group.
Can I
Maybe
can
I'll
I be a part of it?
Sure. We're definitely do this. So I just wanted to show y'all. She will be our first guest speaker tomorrow. It's going to be phenomenal, and we have Tawana comes strong and thorough and confident because she been there. Her topic is no more excuses. That's her topic. So she come on 10 o'clock and Deborah come on.
Deborah's gonna
at
be another
1:30. She's going to talk about stroke.
Mm.
And then we have this other phenomenal young lady that I met via Facebook. I met her via Facebook. She too has another phenomenal story. She's going to talk. And then we have John. But y'all come strong, come ready to receive, take your notes. And when she's finished, make sure you ask questions. Sometimes you have an opportunity that you might not be able to get again. But me and Tawana, we've been great friends. I met her in 2000. Was it before Kelly?
Oh, yeah.
It might have been around 2009, 10, no, 8, something like that. It was years ago we met. And she was my keynote speaker at my first caregivers gala in 2014. So, I wanted to bring her on for as a motivational messenger. That's what I wanted to bring her on for.
How did you get connected with her, Miss Wilson?
I take my chances. I believe that people can only say yes or no to me. If I send a message to you in reference to being a part of something I do, and it's in me, it's on my heart, I write my little email or whatever. All you can do is say yes or no.
I'm gonna tell you one thing that I was blessed by what she said. I was blessed to be born without arms. Do you know how
right?
I mean to say that that right there, you and I saw her put that baby hat on just as quick, and then put them socks on like nothing. Like I was like, dang, woo!
When you use all of what you have, this is what you get. So you're trained to use your hands, right? To write and so forth. So when you don't have hands, then you're trained to use your feet.
I wonder if she ever used prosthetics.
No. No. She used just what her grandma said. Listen, baby, you can do anything you want to do.
I was and I know this is unrelated to the topic, but when you said prosthetics, I was at a concert one time, and the lady next to me had a prosthetic leg, and all of a sudden I turned around and she had taken her leg off and taken like 5 nip bottles out of her leg. She hid the alcohol in her leg.
Wow.
See, you know what? This is what I'm talking about. See, what does normal mean? Okay, you know what I'm saying? So it's no
different. If you got 5 bottles of alcohol in your leg, you live it past normal. I'm gonna let you know.
The person that was with me, I'm like, hey, look, and she's like, wow, that woman just took her leg off and took like 5 airplane bottles of alcohol.
Wow. That is something else.
It's been quite a day, Miss Winnie.
Huh?
Quite a day, Miss Winnie.
I tell you the truth. It's been great. It just gets better. It just gets better. Unfortunately, 2 of the people that I wanted to get on, I did it too late. But we're going to bring them on anyway. So I'm just glad about that. Yeah. And DJ kept reminding me, and it's just, yeah. So anyway, I finally reached out to them and they responded, but I was late, like I said, but we're gonna bring them on.
Like you said, Ms. Wilson, you can do it any time. But
yeah, because I told DJ, I said, you know what? I told him yesterday. I said, well, I'm doing this because in recognition of Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month, but Cerebral Palsy is every day. So we're going to bring them on anyway.
We might want to go to a 7-day format again for next year, Ms. Wilson, because you rocking this conference, and Lord have mercy.
What the thing was that I started on a Friday. I go towards the end of the month. So whatever that Friday is at the end of the month, that's the day that I take it on. And
you know what, Miss Whitney? I went to our CP conference in October for World CP Day. It was like a 3-day conference, and it was for Green Mountain. It was for some kind of like Easter seals thing in Vermont, and I should give you the guy's name because he's doing it next October too. I bet you would do good as a guest speaker there. He had all kinds of guest speakers with cerebral palsy from all over the world, and people went into little conferences and stuff throughout the week. You know, there were 6 conferences going on at one time, and you picked a room and you went into that
Oh,
room.
they broke it down in rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't do the room thing because I want everybody to gather together.
Mhm.
I like all of mine to be gathered together.
Okay.
Whatever subject it is, I want everybody to participate in each subject because you never know if you miss that one. That one could have been one you wanted because you was at another one, and that might have been the one. Since I like everything to come together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I tell you one thing: if Miss Mooney's speaking on Easter, still, I'm going in her person. I ain't gonna miss that one.
So, leave your information, Marie. Your motivation, your inspirational message.
Oh, my inspirational message. Just because we have CP doesn't mean we don't have incredible, wonderful life, fulfilling lives. And each person with CP does it differently. No two CPs are alike. No two lives are alike.
Exactly. Yeah. You want to share how people can follow you or
You can follow me Marie Facebook at Marie Web CP Bernucci. And and awesome people wear green on Facebook.
there you go. I like that still. I always like that. Crystal,
Yes, ma'am.
we appreciate you coming so raw and unfiltered. And
Thank you all
she,
for the
she
opportunity.
is raw and unfiltered. So I thank you for coming raw and unfiltered. I thank you for the transparency, the authenticity. I thank you for all of that. I thank you for just sharing this testimony with everyone. Leave a word of inspiration for our listeners, and also, well, you already shared how people can follow you. So, okay, so leave a word of inspiration.
I just want to tell y'all, if you feel like giving up, there's a scripture that says, look unto the hills where your help comes from. And where did and that particular scripture that particular scripture means look unto Jesus whenever whenever you feel like giving up, look unto him because he's always there. All you gotta do is just call on him, and like the scripture I mentioned earlier, come unto he tells us to come unto him, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and he'll give us rest unto our souls. So just continue to look unto him and follow him, and you must worship him in indeed and in truth. And I also have a Instagram. It's a more with a dot, and then it's K, the letter K, and and T T T with 2 E's. And I
Okay.
thank y'all for the opportunity, and I pray that I blessed you all.
Well, we definitely thank you. We appreciate all of that information. Um, I got a topic from that, so we'll be tuning in. And yes, we can welcome you to our group, and I will send you or DJ will send you the information to that. We were
Yeah,
on Fridays. We're now moving. This coming Sunday, it'll be 2 o'clock on Sundays. So
That's perfect. I'm gonna be out of church by then. Hallelujah.
What'd you say, DJ?
And I just was kind of cackling at what she said. She said, I'm going to be out of church by then. Hallelujah.
I thought you said something when I said the time. I said, did I get it wrong? I thought it was 2.
No, you got it, Miss Winnie. You got it. Okay. You on track, right where you need to be.
Look, I know you're going to let me know. So thank you. If anyone listening is not able to listen in tomorrow at 12 o'clock, make sure you go back and listen to the replay. And
y'all, real quick, if you're not able to listen tomorrow, please go to this replay, because I have this feeling this woman gonna knock me out my chair. I mean,
I have a lot of questions for her.
Like, she's not even here yet, and I'm tingling. Like, I mean, woo!
Marie has a question for Crystal.
No, I just want to say I loved your testimony, Christopher. Someone who doesn't, I believe in an afterlife, I believe in God, but I don't believe that I have to worship him 100%. That's just who I am, and I like listening to people's opinions about life and stories about life, and I think you had a good one.
There's one thing I'll say about you, Crystal. When I listened to you speak, and I was watching very intently, you have very pure eyes. I was watching your eyes the entire time, and I could see the truth and the heartfelt intent you were speaking with. So, just
glory to God.
I'm sorry?
She said glory to God.
I said glory to God.
Yeah, that's just there's a level of purity there. I ain't gonna start preaching, because then I'll start sweating. I ain't gonna do that. But it's just a level of purity that because it takes a lot. I mean, people can say a lot of things, but when you say it and then you see it and you have a chance to really feel it, I mean, Miss Winnie knows what I'm talking about. You can't just. I don't want to judge a book by its cover either, and that's why I said what I said, because it's, to hear this when it's a genuine story that you come from, and a genuine place that you come from where you were to where you are now. That's a very, very sweet nectar to sip on, as it were, because it's entirely different. And to hear that sweet sound that comes from you now, I said, man, I'm right with Miss Winnie. I said, I don't understand voices and manipulating. I said, Lord have mercy. She just talking just as sweet as she can be. I said, come on now, But we're gonna have a great day tomorrow, and honor to meet you. And I just wish you the best.
Yes.
You're welcome.
You in reference to Marie. That was very transparent and great. I just want to say that. And you're right. That is your opinion. And everybody has, as many people that have that same opinion as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, really, they do. So, but God. So that's a plus. That's a plus. God. And he brought you from that dark place. So that's good. But I mean, you know what? I like authenticity. I like being real and keeping it real.
The realism of this,
real. Like the whole conversation all day long,
mm-hmm.
Open dialogues and all that. Everything has been real.
Our dialogues today have been phenomenal. I mean, because we went some places today, Lord have mercy. Miss Winnie wore her blue. We went to the sky today. I'm gonna tell you.
We was at the sunshine on Friday, and today we took it up. We was on fire yesterday with the red.
I gotta ask you, Miss Winnie, before we go now, what color should I wear tomorrow? Now you done told me. I got the red the first day, I got the yellow, and then I got the purple. So what I do next?
The purple. What color, Kelly? What color should DJ wear?
Purple.
He already wore purple. You gotta think of a different color.
He got
Just say a color.
color.
Just say a color.
She said color.
Real men wear pink.
Purple.
We'll say.
Just God said it.
What'd you say, Marie?
I said real men wear pink.
There you go. We're pink.
Wear pink.
I'm gonna have to look in the closet for that one. You know?
Yeah, you said that yesterday about the pink. So I'm gonna say blue.
Okay. All right.
Royal blue.
Royal blue. Miss Winnie got specific. Oh Lord have mercy.
You're gonna have to mail you a pink shirt.
Miss Winnie, you've been in my closet.
My shirt's same color too.
Your shirt got many colors in it.
Now, is that the darker? The royal blue is the darker blue, right? Okay.
That's navy blue. That's like Marie. That's navy blue.
Hey,
This royal blue.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
All right, well, this has been phenomenal, y'all. I thank y'all so much for coming along on this journey with me these past few days. I can't thank y'all enough. We'll be back tomorrow with more power, an empowering moment at 12 o'clock. So y'all wake up, brush your teeth, get the cracks out your eyes.
You're funny.
Get the cracks out your eyes, and y'all just sit still and wait for this motivational moment with Tawana Williams, because you heard her voice. When I said she's gonna come strong, that's what I meant about she's gonna come strong. Okay. So y'all just be ready.
Can you send us the link early so we can talk to her a little bit, Miss Winnie?
You know what? I'm gonna do that.
Please, I'm serious.
You just made Marie mad. Don't you do that, DJ? Marie, like, wait, I ain't gonna be here.
Hold on, if you send the link at 11:30, I could do it. But by 12:30, I have to take some medicine so I could do this whole Ahmad thing.
Dude, I'll be up at 8 o'clock and we can talk to her at 8 o'clock. God dang, I'm so excited.
I'll call her when I get a. Say, hey, how are you doing? You know, my classmate Tawana Williams. That was Siobhan. Okay, so we're going to end with this, all right? Because we're going to have a great time tomorrow, and I'm gonna have to let Tawana know that this is how I do it.
Uh-oh.
This is how I do it.
Miss Winnie, you gonna hurt yourself.
You gotta join in, Tristan. When they say lift your hands up, everybody hands go up. All right, Kelly, up. And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Up, down, up, down. Win.
You cut it off perfect that time, Miss
All
Winnie.
we do is win, y'all. That's all I want y'all to know. All we do is
I heard Luda. She said click.
We don't need that part. Y'all
again, Facebook, we're doing this for entertainment purposes only.
Y'all keep being great. Just keep reaching for as far as you. Don't put limits. Just what you know your body can do, is capable and able to do, your mind can. Keep going. Keep being great. Reach for greatness. I enjoy all of y'all. Y'all keep me going. Y'all inspire me to do so much more. And of course, you know I do, because I got this raw and unfiltered one here. So
I think there should be a blog called Kelly's Raw and
Unfiltered. Kelly, raw and unfiltered.
Miss Wilson got so much stuff. Don't give her another thing. She's gonna kick that out tonight.
Man. All right. So y'all enjoy. Thank you. I'm Edwina Wilson. I'm the CEO and founder of Kelly's Choice and the visionary of this Cerebral Palsy Conference. We got so much more to come, y'all. I can't even. That's why my head is so full, because there's so many things that we're working on, like in the now. So I will keep all of y'all posted as we get closer to it before the launch of it. Y'all be amazing. Have a wonderful evening, and we will see y'all tomorrow at 12 o'clock right here. Same time, same place. All right. Enjoy.
Fantastic.
Two
Bye-bye.
up, two down.
Yeah.
Kelly said fantastic.
And the